Welcome to The Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
Each episode we take a piece of pop culture from yesteryear and ask ourselves the question, could you get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what does that say about society then and now?
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll look at the news events of the day. We'll look at the TV landscape and the pop charts, just to put our chosen topic and the year into context. So,
hello.
Got a nice cup of ginger and turmeric tea in hand.
Yes, very good, because there were some comments about our Muriel's wedding episode. Some people did enjoy watching us on the Tube of You. Getting a bit tiddly in real time, didn't they?
Yes.
And they said they could spot the moment when the bubbles kicked in.
The eyes glazed over, and the speech starting to slur. But
such a slur about it.
Yeah, as is our one on the Problematic Gaze. Last week, Muriel's wedding was a celebration, wasn't it?
Yes,
and I mean, you can't go to a wedding and not have a glass of bubbles.
No. Unlike this week's episode,
where we need to be completely sober.
Yeah, otherwise it would just get really angry.
Yeah.
And just a bit depressed. Because, we've taken the Tally TARDIS back to 1979, a cracking year in some respects, to watch an episode of Mind Your Language, which was a huge sitcom at the time. I remember watching it and loving it.
Yes, me too. From the UK, wasn't it?
From the UK.
Yeah, for our international listeners. But a big hit all across the world.
Yes, really weirdly. And this very much is in the bracket of things we watch so you don't have to. We have linked it in the show notes, obviously, if you want to lose 25 minutes of your life to a really low quality VHS copy on YouTube and low quality.
I'd have it on. I'd watch it. I would recommend it, obviously, to put this episode into context for you.
Yeah.
But maybe do it while you're dusting the skirting boards.
Yeah.
Or maybe cleaning the toilet.
Yeah.
Or something.
Don't make it the focus of your 25 minutes, because in doing so it's quite hard work.
I mean, don't get your friends round.
Don't tell them you're watching it.
Don't put the nibbles out.
Don't. So we've both said we watched it at the time, loved it, never thought about it since.
No.
It has garnered a reputation, hasn't it, for being not so much racist, but just deploying really tired national stereotypes, which tick, spoiler alert.
Yes,
absolutely.
None more so than the person who commissioned it, Michael Grade,
right,
in 1985 at the Edinburgh TV Festival, did say, we shouldn't have made this. So when you've got the person who commissioned it in the first place saying that, then you know you're kind of skirting on dodgy territory.
Yeah, well, you're on a hiding to nothing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Good. So before we go into Mind Your Language, because we have to, should we get in the TARDIS and have a look at the news events of 1979?
Let's do it. Let's do some history.
Let's not mention the award.
No.
So, now we did look at 1979 already in a couple of our episodes, but it's a big year in the UK. So, if we have repeated ourselves, if you heard this before, tough, suck it up.
Yeah.
The year starts with strikes. On the 5th of January, lorry drivers go on strike, causing new shortages of heating oil and fresh food. On the 15th of January, British rail workers begin the 24-hour strike. On the 22nd of January, tens of thousands of public workers strike in the beginning of what becomes known as the Winter of Discontent. The bloody grave diggers in Liverpool are on strike. And on the 12th of February, my 6th birthday, over 1,000 schools closed due to the heating oil shortage caused by the lorry driver strikes. There is strikes everywhere.
That was really handy, because on your birthday you wouldn't have had to go to school.
I know. I don't remember, but I guess not. Yeah, I guess not.
Yes. A lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, why were all these strikes?
Because that's when the unions had the most power.
Right.
And union power was huge at this point. Inflation's gone skyrocketing again. So people haven't got enough money. So everybody wants more demands for money and they're not getting them. So they're on strikes. But there's more union membership at this point than any other point in history. So all of the above, really.
Right.
Yeah.
just seems like there might be somebody lurking around the corner, waiting in the wings to battle the unions. Yeah, and snatch milk off people. But we'll get to that. Okay, so in the midst of all this, on the 10th of January, Labour Prime Minister James Callaghan returns from an international summit to a Britain in a state of industrial unrest. The Sun newspaper reports his comments with the famous headline, "Crisis? What crisis?"
Yeah, I mean, it just showed that he just seemed so out of touch.
Yeah.
And so unaware of what was happening in the country that, it does not surprising that on the 28th of March, his government, James Callaghan government, loses a vote of no confidence in Parliament by one vote, forcing a general election. It's the first successful vote of no confidence in a British government since 1924. And look at what happens next.
Oh, well. On the 4th of May, the Conservatives win the general election by a 44-seat majority, and Margaret Thatcher becomes the first female Prime Minister of the UK. So Liberal Party leader Jeremy Thorpe is the most notable MP to lose his seat. Despite being 67 years old and having lost the first general election he has contested, James Callaghan stays on. I'm going to read that again because it didn't quite make sense. Sorry, I didn't make sense of it. Despite being 67 years old and having lost the first general election he has contested, James Callaghan stays on until November 1980 as leader of the Labour Party, now in opposition. Among the new members of Parliament is John Major, a young-looking 36-year-old MP for Huntingdon.
There we go. Speaking of Jeremy Thorpe, 4 days later, on the 8th of May, the now former Liberal Party leader goes on trial at the Old Bailey, charged with attempted murder. He'll be cleared of the charges on the 22nd of June, but his career is over. Now, this was Norman Scott, his lover from many years before. And I don't know if you ever saw A Very British Scandal. Was that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, with Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Russell T Davies wrote it. It was all about this.
Yeah.
And basically, Jeremy Thorpe tries to have him shot. Gets him lured out to the middle of the countryside. And the hitman shoots his dog and then goes to shoot him, Norman Scott, and the gun fails, and he just gets in his car and legs it. So this is just like,
well, I mean, he couldn't make it up. Well, and also this just goes to show the state of being gay in the UK, having to hide things away. If the press had got hold of this, then that would have been Jeremy Thorpe's career over.
Absolutely. And 4 years before, he'd been touted as probably the next PM.
Yeah.
What a fall from grace.
And then it did come out. I mean, it's just fodder for the tabloids, isn't it, this?
Absolutely.
They're probably creaming themselves over this.
Absolutely.
Well, yes, so that's that. So I wish I could give you happier news, but on the 27th of August, Lord Mountbatten of Burma and two 15-year-olds, his nephew, and a boat boy are assassinated by the Provisional IRA. They bombed a boat they were on while holidaying in the Republic of Ireland, and the Dowager Lady Brabourne, that sounds like something out of Downton Abbey, doesn't it? She died the following day in hospital because of injuries received. So Lord Mountbatten was a retired fleet admiral. He was the cousin of Queen Elizabeth II, an uncle of Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. I'm trying to work out that family tree. And a real mentor to Prince Charles, who was obviously absolutely devastated of this. So this is the IRA scoring a proper win here, isn't it? For want of better words.
Absolutely. And there's some school of thought which suggests that the fact that they were able to do this to Mountbatten, there's a direct through line to the Brighton bombing of the Tory Party conference 4 years after this. So but it's a huge PR win for them. And there's the footage of the boat is just like absolutely shattered and being brought back to the shore and stuff. It's terrible. On the 20th of December, the government publishes the Housing Bill, which will give council house tenants the right to buy their homes the following year. At that moment in time, there are 5 million households in the UK currently council tenants. So this is going to be huge. And unfortunately, it's left us with quite a legacy of not enough housing for social housing in this country. So was it a good thing? I'm not sure.
Well, there you go. Okay, so let's have some good news, shall we? And finally, following the birth of the world's first test tube baby, Louise Brown, in July 1978 in Oldham, the UK continued to lead the fertility continued to lead the fertility sciences. God, I can't even say that. I haven't even had any champagne.
Honestly.
Can't blame the champagne.
Honestly, he says he has to go to want the auto cue for Italy. I'll be the judge.
The UK continued to lead fertility science in 1979. During this year, further successful IVF treatments were reported, sparking widespread hope for couples struggling with infertility. So there were two pioneering doctors, Dr. Patrick Steptoe and Robert Edwards, had confirmed that the IVF process was not a one-off miracle, but a viable medical breakthrough. So this was a moment of hope and optimism as Britain became the centre of one of the most significant medical advances of the 20th century.
There we go. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
that's really nice.
That's nice. Dramatic year.
Dramatic, yeah. Lots of politics. Was it ever thus?
Lots of politics. Lots of people unhappy.
Lots of people unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, food prices going up.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that.
all
Politicians being a bit shitty.
Yeah.
Only thinking for themselves.
And what's changed?
What's changed? So you think the world was shit now? It was shit back in 1979
Yes.
as well. So don't worry too much. Don't get too nihilistic about everything, because
It's always been shit.
it's always been shit.
It's not the message of our podcast. There's been moments of shit and moments of good.
Yeah.
It just seems at the moment there's a lot of shit.
Yes.
But was it ever thus?
But that's okay. You can just sit down, listen to us,
Yes.
and we'll put a nice positive slant on your life.
Yes, we're free
Yes.
at the point of entry.
Yeah.
So, make the most of that.
Yeah. Until we set the Patreon up.
Yes. Until we have subscriber-only features.
Oh. It's basically Lee stripping.
That's my OnlyFans. Direct link to my OnlyFans page.
Yeah, can we? Because then we can split the profits.
How have I got to do all the bloody work? You'd be a director.
I'll film you. Oh, God. No.
Put the blindfold on.
Yeah. Where are you?
Just give me the tripod. Give me the tripod. Right then.
Shall we have a look at some TV events of 1979?
Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at some TV events from 1979.
Between the 10th of August and the 24th of October, there's no ITV.
Oh.
No ITV at all. There's a major technician strike, another strike, which leads to a 10-week blackout of all ITV programming. If you switch ITV on, there'd be nothing. There'd be a notice saying, sorry, because of industrial action, there's no TV. When ITV returns, its viewing figures soar, but it does mean that BBC TV gets huge viewing figures in this 10-week period. But yet, no ITV. You can't imagine it, can you? The whole channel going off.
No. So, at this point in the UK, and I think this is really hugely significant when we talk about Mind Your Language, there's during this strike, there's only 2 channels to watch.
Yes.
In
BBC
the
One,
UK,
BBC Two.
BBC Two. So it's not
Yeah.
like today where you've got a plethora of everything.
Yeah.
All at your fingertips. You literally just have to speak into your remote control what you want to watch, and it springs it up.
Yeah.
But 2 channels, so this is to bear in mind why Mind Your Language might have been very popular.
Yes.
Because there's shite all else to watch on telly.
Yes, really, very much. Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so BBC launches CFAX subtitles on the 23rd of September 1979. So the BBC began experimenting with subtitling for the deaf using its CFAX teletext service. This was a major step in making... Okay, this isn't right, is it?
Yes, you've said it right so far, darling.
But it's just basically saying the same thing twice. Began experimenting with subtitling for the deaf using its... And that's the launch of it. Okay. It's just not written very well. Sorry. Good workman and all that.
So hidebound to a script, isn't it?
Okay, so, CFAX subtitles started in 1979.
Right.
Yeah, so that marked a major step in making television more accessible.
Indeed, absolutely. Some notable debuts this year. Not the 9 o'clock news, debuts on BBC Two. Satirical, sharp sketch show launches the careers of Rowan Atkinson, Mel Smith, Pamela Stevenson and Griff Rhys-Jones. So they'll become huge household names, won't they, after this?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Antiques Roadshow on BBC One technically started in 1977, but it was a regional show. So in 1979, it became a national staple on the national channel.
Right.
So yeah, Antiques Roadshow, thoughts?
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Not that bothered.
Are you not?
No.
If it's on, I do like to watch it, but let's face it, we only watch it to see the people's disappointment when the expert tells them how little something is valued. They're going in with all these expectations of going to be able to retire, going to go on a world cruise because of this China Cup that great Auntie Ethel bequeathed me in her will and everything. And then they're like, oh yeah, it's £2.
Yeah, 2 bob. Yeah.
So just the look on their faces is worth watching the Antiques Roadshow.
I think it's because we just never had anything in our house that could possibly be used taken onto the Antiques Roadshow, so I just wasn't bothered.
Well, I'm hoping some of my rare Madonna albums might fetch a few bob later on in about 100 years' time.
Okay, let's see how that works out.
I'm going to bequeath them to my niece and nephews.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So they go, what are these, Uncle David? Who's Madonna?
They're long player records.
On ITV, The Book Tower begins, which is a children's programme designed to encourage reading, presented by Tom Baker of Doctor Who fame at the time. I remember watching that and just thinking, Doctor Who's on something else as well. And he used to do like Disney time as well as Doctor Who.
Really?
But obviously he was not in character here. He was Tom Baker.
Yeah.
But it was a thrill to see them doing something else.
He must have been raking it in at this time.
Well, not really. He's on a BBC salary.
Oh.
So you're not making a huge amount of money at that point. I don't know. I mean, he's not short of a bob or two, but he's not going to be massively wealthy.
Do you think they all get residuals? Like,
yes.
So DVD sales, repeats on telly and stuff.
Yeah.
They get all that.
When there was a Doctor Who story with Peter Capaldi's era, which played a couple of clips of Tom Baker from one of his earlier stories from 1975, and my old mate Jax told me he would have got a full story residual fee for that, just that 30-second clip they used. So
really,
you still get residuals today. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think we'll get residuals for this
when the Patreon kicks in? Yeah, when my OnlyFans gets repeated on, I might scupper the Strictly gig.
Yeah.
I'll think about that. Anyway.
Okay, so Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy on BBC Two launched this year. Acclaimed adaptation of the John le Carré novel starring Alec Guinness as George Smiley. Loved this.
I never saw it.
Oh, well, I watched it a couple of years ago. Just really evokes this era.
Right.
You know, The Spy, the Cold War, Alec Guinness, phenomenal. Just amazing. Quite difficult to keep up with what's going on. So you can't be doing it and scrolling through your phone at the same time. You have to sit down and proper focus.
Right.
But great, superb acting. Sean
Phillips
is in it as well. Yeah.
Right. My dad. I remember my dad loving it, and my dad had all the books and read all the books.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a thing. Coming to an end this year is The Comedians, an ITV show, thank God. A once popular stand-up showcase that was becoming dated due to its resilience on old-style club comedy and non-PC jokes. I mean, think Bernard Manning.
So I think it's a resilience.
Say again, what?
Resilience rather than resilience.
Oh, yeah. The Comedians ended in 1979. This once popular stand-up showcase that was becoming dated due to its reliance on old-style club comedy and non-PC jokes. Think Bernard Manning, think your Mike Reeds, think your Jim Bowens, all of that punching down comedy, and it was all men. There was never any women on it at all, so thankfully it's gone this year.
Yes. Yes, redundant now. Yeah. Doctor Who, Tom Baker, continued his run as the Fourth Doctor, very popular, facing off against memorable villains like the Daleks and the Black Guardian.
Blake 7 is a hugely popular dystopian space drama, now in its second series and growing in cult status.
I used to love Blake 7.
Yes.
But I didn't really understand what was going on. But I just liked the outfits.
Yes.
And Servalan, obviously played by your friend Jacqueline Pearce, was just so sexy, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, and quite scary at the same time for her.
Yes, she was. I remember I didn't really get into it because I didn't really understand it, but I just remember watching and remembering Servalan thinking, wow, this woman is super cool. With their really cropped hair and great outfits.
And then there was this also this kind of like square box which was like an artificial intelligence called
Aurak.
Aurak, that's it. But I just thought that was like You all right?
You used to say, do you want to go? Like that.
But I just thought that was, it just looked so glamorous and
Yeah.
techno kind of thing. I
mean-
don't know why I was fascinated with this small Perspex box that they'd knocked up in the bloody BBC design
Yes.
workshop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's strange what fascinates you as a child, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Almost like it was designed to be put in there to attract the kiddies.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. What's next?
Some notable ratings this year. There's some big television ratings. Just a few things to throw at you. Mm-hmm. To the Manor Born on BBC One, the final episode of Series 1 in 1979 drew around 23.95. 24 million people watching that final episode of Series 1, making it one of the biggest UK audiences of the decade.
Now, it'd be interesting to know what the UK population was in 1979, but I could probably imagine it was about 50 million.
Yeah, it must be probably half the audience. Wow.
Half the UK watching this.
Gosh.
Okay, fact-checking department.
Fact-checking department.
Yeah, the Benny Hill Show. Obviously, we've just recently featured an episode of Benny Hill, a couple of episodes back. The Benny Hill Show, an edition broadcast on the 14th of March 1979, recorded about 20.8 million viewers.
Yeah, and even Doctor Who, during the ITV strike, the City of Death story, which we've done an earlier episode on, please go back and listen to it, that gets 16 million viewers, never been bettered for Doctor Who ratings.
Really?
Yeah.
And was that part of during the strike?
Yes, yeah. So it's very anomalous, but...
Fine, we'll take the win.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So our episode of Mind Your Language was broadcast on the 28th of October 1979. Should we have a look at the top 20 from the 21st of October 1979, see what there was in the pop charts at the time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's cross
Okay.
over to the music desk.
Thoughts, hopes?
I think it's going to be quite good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of big hitters and a few ones I haven't got a clue.
Right. Okay, so number 20, let's kick off. Back of My Hand, something you feel quite regularly. By Jags.
No.
Move on.
You Can Do It, Dave. That's Al Hudson and the Soul Partners.
No. Okay. Sorry, gazers, bear with us.
Bear with us.
Number 18, My Forbidden Lover by Chic.
Know that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
We know one.
Not one of Chic's classic ones, but a good one.
Yeah.
Number 17, Making Plans for Nigel. XTC. We like that one.
Yeah, we do. Number 16, Gonna Get Along Without You Now, Viola Wills. We know that one.
Do we?
Gonna get along without you now.
Oh, yes.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, I had to really pull it out of where the ether was from your...
Kind of a disco vibe to that, wasn't there?
Yeah. Number 15, The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band.
Good song, that.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not singing it to you.
Don't just ruin it.
Number 14. Go off, someone. What are you saying about my singing voice? I've warmed it up and everything with the ginger tea.
Nothing.
Okay. Number 14, Queen of Hearts, Dave Edmunds. Move on.
Move on, because in number 13, we've got the Quo. Whatever you want, whatever you got. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, we love the Quo, don't we?
Yeah.
We love the Quo.
Yeah.
Okay, number 12, Since You've Been Gone, Rainbow.
And the good one.
Yeah.
Good one. We're warming up now.
Stacking them up, yeah.
I can feel us warming up. Number 11, Okay, Fred by Errol Dunkley. Now, there's a name not banned for showbiz, is it?
No.
We've got Errol Dunkley.
Straight in at number 11.
Okay, Fred.
I wonder who Errol Dunkley was.
God knows. Who's Fred?
Errol Dunkley. No, don't know. I'll cut that bit out. Okay, so going from the ridiculous to the sublime.
Yes.
Number 10, Dreaming, Blondie.
Yeah, gosh.
Amazing.
Amazing. I remember that, the single. She's got that green leather, I think, with a green hat on. She just looks so fucking cool. Well, Debbie Harry was just so cool. So she could just be effortlessly
Wear a bin bag,
She
literally.
did wear a bin bag, yeah.
And
yeah.
look cool.
Looks cool. Number 9, Tusk, Fleetwood Mac.
Yes.
What one's that one? I must know it.
I think it's the instrumental one where with a lot of the brass orchestra and there's a video of it and they're all in the kind of American football stadium. with the
not really
trombones and the tubas and
not ringing a
everything.
bell.
It's an instrumental one. I think it was experimental. Didn't go down hugely well.
No, but it got top 10.
But got top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Number 8, Message in a Bottle, The Police.
Yeah,
Really
one.
good big
Yes.
hitters here.
Yeah,
isn't
there are, yeah. Number 7, The Chosen Few, The Dooleys. The Dooleys were a weird group. I think unique to Britain, of the clubs, and they were kind of mixture of just a random mixture of different, and they had a lot of top 10 hits, but none of them are quite. None of them have stayed in the imagination. They're
Right.
one of those groups that were really prevalent at the time, but have just been forgotten by history.
Yeah.
You never hear them on the radio, but they were big.
Yeah.
You know, but just lost to history.
Any relation to Stacey Dooley?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
She used to work in the duty free at Luton Airport, you know.
Did she?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I saw her there, but
Right.
yeah, that's fact fans for you. Never
Good.
say that you don't learn anything.
No,
on
always
this.
never stop learning.
Yeah, I mean, we have won an award for being informative.
It's that kind of information
Yeah.
we won an award for.
Stacey Dooley
Yeah.
worked at Luton Airport.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the chart. So, okay, hold on to your knickers.
Yes, I'll try.
Number 6, Gimme 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 by ABBA.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah, I love that song. What a cracking song that is.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Everyday Hurts by Sad Cafe.
It's a bit like doing this podcast with you.
I knew you were going to say that, you know.
Yeah.
Bloody knew it.
Okay, number 4, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Michael Jackson.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Yes.
Number 3, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, Dr. Hook. Classic song, but my God, what a misogynist piece of shit that song is. Blame the woman for your own insecurities, why don't you?
Yeah.
In 3 verses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you don't deserve a beautiful woman.
You
if
don't.
That's your attitude.
If that's your attitude. You don't.
Okay, number 2, Video Killed the Radio Star.
Classic, classic, classic.
Buggles.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't get better than
Yeah.
this. This is. I remember that video with the girls with the tinsel wigs on, the
Yes.
sci-fi elements of it, and just being blown away
Yeah.
by it. Should we start number 1 is?
Yeah, let's do it.
Da, 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 da. One Day at a Time, Lena Martell.
Okay, Sweet Jesus.
She was a godbotherer, wasn't she?
Oh, I think so.
And she was
yeah.
a kind of country western. There was that country vibe going on at the time.
Isn't it strange how a song like that, which is very niche,
Yes.
just captures the imagination
Yeah.
and the cultural psyche and
Yeah.
rides all the way to the top of the charts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and keeps off Buggles, Dr. Hook, and Michael Jackson from
Yeah.
number 1.
Well,
Well,
there
that
you
was a
go.
good one, I think.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, I
actually,
enjoyed that.
surprising. I mean, I
Yes.
think we caught a wave being ridden there because some of the 70s ones we look at, we don't know for call, do
Yes,
we?
absolutely.
But that was a good one.
A good
The
one.
stars were aligning.
They were. They aligned very well.
Yeah. That being said, shall we jump off this glittering, star-studded fanfare of music and popular culture and dive into the murky swimming pool of shit that is Mind Your Language? Come on, let's do it. Come on.
Let's do it.
Our gazers deserve it.
Our gazers deserve it. We're doing it for you gazers, not for us. Right now, Dave, would you like to give us a bit of background info on Mind Your Language?
I will. So, Mind Your Language is a British sitcom that premiered on ITV in 1977. It was produced by London Weekend Television and directed by Stuart Allen. 3 series were made between 1977 and 1979, and it was briefly revived in 1985 with 6 of the original cast members. The series... Okay, so, sorry.
That's not written very well either, is it not?
It's not written very well. The series was commissioned by Michael Gray, director of programmes at London Weekend Television, and it was sold to, get this, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, India, Malaysia, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Singapore, Persian Gulf states, and Hong Kong. So,
I know it
that's
was
it.
also huge in Poland.
Really?
Yeah, and also Eastern European countries as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So this kind of like leans into this international appeal leads into the subject matter of Mind Your Language. So do you want to give us a synopsis, Lee?
A synopsis of this episode we
Yes.
watched. We watched episode 1 of series 3. An affluent Arab sheik enrolls his Scottish chauffeur in Mr. Brown's class due to not being able to understand the Scots language. But the Glaswegian man causes trouble for everyone in the class due to his obnoxious, hostile and confrontational attitude. It's hilarious, apparently. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Basically, the premise of this show, Mr. Brown teaches English to a group of funny foreign people.
Yes.
That's it.
So this is the first episode in series 3. That's
Yes.
right, isn't it? So we do get this obligatory reintroduction of, the main cast,
Yes.
don't we?
Yes. And it's basically a roll call of every single national stereotype you can possibly think of. So we meet the Italian and the Greek kind of Lotharios, who have bought a bird between them.
They bought a parrot,
A parrot, a cockathree.
a cockathree.
It's a cockatoo, apparently.
Yes. So
Much
that's
hilarity
Yeah.
ensues.
So that's Giovanni the Italian and Max the Greek.
Now,
Yeah.
we will say, as well, we have said many times on this podcast, that nothing ages sometimes like milk more than comedy does. And unlike something like Fawlty Towers, which has genuinely stood the test of time, or Steptoe and Son, which throws up lots of really interesting commentary about the social context in which it was created, this just speaks of a really kind of low level, taking the piss out of foreign people.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it does. So we've got a kind of a roster of these students. So yeah, as we said, Giovanni is the Italian, Max is the Greek. Together, kind of both interchangeable, especially with the accents. So these two played by two British actors putting on Greek and Italian accents. But I mean, they're so similar that you can't really differentiate which is the Italian and which is the Greek.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we get Danielle, who's the French student.
And because she's French, she's a bit racy.
We see
obviously.
her stockings, don't we?
Yeah.
And we have to say these are adult students.
Yes.
Come to learn English.
Yes, this is an adult education college.
Yeah, she's portrayed as the sex-hungry French nympho. She's got a boyfriend for every day of the week, and hence why her weekends are so dull.
Yes, and they like her body, which she's very happy with. She's a different boy each night. She is the ooh la la French stereotypical girl who likes a shag, basically. She's not slut shamed for it.
No, she's proud of it.
Proud of it.
Yeah, owns it.
Yeah.
But cues some very kind of just tedious boob jokes.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and then we've got Anna, who's the German au pair. Now, I mean, we talk about stereotypes. She's hard. She's got stern features. She's buttoned up, almost soldier-like.
Yes.
With zero humour.
There's a mention of an Adolf,
Yes.
because she's German, obviously. As you can imagine, just straight-laced, efficient, all the stereotypical qualities we used to apportion to German people in Anna.
Yes.
Embodied by Anna.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we get Ranji and Ali. Now, Ranji is an Indian Punjabi Sikh, and he's pitted against Ali, who's a Pakistani Muslim. So there's a conflict of culture and religion here.
Well, as it was thus after independence in 1949. You know.
This to me was almost the most offensive
Yeah.
stereotype here, because they're often portrayed in this episode. They're at loggerheads with each other.
Yeah.
Ranji chases Ali at one point with his Sikh dagger,
Yes.
which is kind of a sacred object for many Sikhs. And it felt like, knowing the history, knowing how the history of violence and war and animosity between these two cultures, to see it just represented and just lowest common denominator in there at each other's.
And they both do that funny head shaking thing that men of this region were portrayed as doing in comedy shows. Like It Ain't Half Hot Mum doing the same as well. And that became a stereotype which was copied by racists and
Yeah.
playground kids, unfortunately. And yeah, it's really, really distasteful, isn't it?
They call each other names like hairy goat, the illegitimate son of a cross-eyed camel, and call each other barbarians and infidels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. But okay, I mean, let's just go through the other roster really quickly. So we've got Taro, who's the Japanese businessman guy. He says "oh" after everything.
Yes, and his big comedy stick was him going "arsehole" because it sounds like asshole, and that was he says it every episode. I remember.
Yeah, we've got Jamila, who's the Indian housewife.
Yes.
We've got Suli.
She's got a sari on, we must say.
Yes.
She's wearing a sari,
Yes.
doing knitting a lot, yeah.
And we've got Suli, who's the Chinese lady, portrayed as a communist. She's got her little red book.
Yes, and
She
often
reads
quotes
from.
Chairman Mao, was also in Doctor Who, and that's 73.
Yes. Yeah, she was. Got Juan from Spain. I've just put please at the end of that.
Yeah.
He's from Spain. Of course, it's called Juan.
Of course, he's called Juan. He's very Spanish, isn't he?
Yes.
It's like, oh, God.
Yeah. Now, can we just talk about really quickly?
Yes.
And I'm really interested to get your take on this.
Yeah.
My theory is about this, why this show was so popular, was because the world was a much smaller place then.
Yes, yes.
And people from foreign countries were seen by a large amount of the British population as being exotic.
Yes.
So to offer any kind of intricate analysis or presentation of somebody from a foreign country might have gone over people's heads a little.
yeah.
Because, you know, international travel was a thing, but for many Brits...
For most Brits.
it wasn't a thing because their travel was
Absolutely.
so expensive and the package holiday hadn't hugely taken off.
Absolutely.
So it felt as though, you know, the writers were presenting this lowest common denominator stereotype of these people, so they were more digestible. That's what people knew of people from abroad.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely right. Because news events take so much slower to get through to British. So you're right. The world seems much smaller. So there's less experience of different types. But what's kind of unforgivable is that there's already a very big Indian and Pakistani population in Britain at the time, for example. But the other thing, you're absolutely correct in that. It's much easier just to display because we come back into the funny foreigner trope. Because we have so limited knowledge of, and because other races seem kind of other nationalities seem kind of exoticized and otherized. So the funny foreigner trope, like Manuel from Fawlty Towers to some extent, is a really easy shorthand and a kind of lazy way just to get cheap gags for an audience. But it also strikes me that kind of humour acts as a panacea in Britain for a country which is losing its identity as an imperial power still, and which that's still creating a lot of uncertainty and a lot of negative self-reflection. So the ability to still laugh at funny foreigners is kind of like a last gasp of a country trying to make itself feel better.
Right.
And again, it strikes me later when we meet the Scottish character, this is very much an English thing as well, because even the Scottish character has the piss taken out of him. And we'll see the stereotypes of a Scottish person will be deployed in the later half of this episode. So you're right, the world seemed a more unknowable kind of place at this time because the lack of travel, because the lack of media, 2 channels, so when you're only going to get certain representations of. And if you live somewhere where there isn't an ethnic minority population, like I didn't, chances are you're never going to come across these people. So they have to be painted in broad strokes, but also a little bit of making us feel better about ourselves, I think.
Because it has to be said that the foreign people in this show were deemed... You looked at it and you thought they're trying to portray these people as stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the English people in it, namely the English teacher, and the principal of the school, were all seemed to be eloquent, educated, intelligent people. Yeah. Whereas all people who weren't from England were considered to be just stupid.
Yes, yeah, and as opposed to the fact that if someone's trying to learn the language, that's a really great thing. Somebody's trying to do, you know, that's not a source of comedy. That's a source of wow. That's somebody. And I always say, I hate it when people say, you know, you need to have perfect English to live here. It's like fuck off. Yeah. You know, if you've made the effort and you can speak it, if it's broken, that's somebody's took the time and the effort to learn the language. It's not something that should be dismissed. And also, how much of another language do we know as English people? You know, it's just all tied in with this old kind of ideas of superiority and our place in the world. You know, Rule Britannia, blah, 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 all that shite. So...
Interesting. Now, can I just on a side swear before we get back to the episode?
Yeah.
You used to work at a foreign language school, didn't you?
I did very much so. And what's always surprised me, actually, was, like I mentioned, the Polish teachers used to love Mind Your Language. And it astonishes me that this show was so big internationally. And I can't honestly work out why, because obviously we're coming from a white English perspective. So... is it that kind of thing about representation? You know, because I've heard people of colour in the past say, no matter what kind of what state their kind of race was being represented on television, at least somebody on TV who was the same colour of them was better than nothing. So is that what it's about? Is that why it's popular? I honestly can't work it out. But
also, I mean. Maybe the reason why it was so popular is because everybody in each individual country still had this attitude that the Britons had about making fun of other people from other countries.
Yeah, maybe it's that whole thing about the world feeling really small and just like, you know, it's not explored yet. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's an international thing. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Not just limited to Britain, but obviously Britain, we've got this empire hangover as well. But, you know, there's obviously all sorts of events going on in other countries.
Yes.
So maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, let's get back to the story here.
Very tedious, though. Watching it from modern eyes, it's really tedious.
Well, I'll tell you what really made me annoyed is that the jokes were really tired and the script was really basic. I mean, if this had been like, you know, we watched comedies like Fawlty Towers, Till Death Us Do Part, things we haven't watched yet, like Duty Free. The script writing is really tight and the jokes are clever.
Yes.
And the story, there's a through storyline. Whereas this, there was no through storyline. We saw the parrot at the beginning, which I thought was going to be kind of like the running gag throughout the episode. Yes. Never saw the bloody parrot again. No. Don't know what that was all about. No. And, you know, the ending, you know, didn't have any... There was no through story throughout this episode. It just seemed it was a cheap gag after cheap gag aimed at a foreigner.
Yes. And it was just basic.
It was just basic humour. It wasn't. But it wasn't even clever like Fawlty Towers is, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we get the arrival of the Sheikh El Hamad. Yeah. I mean, what a name to give an Arab, Sheikh El Hamad, who is, you know, he's in the traditional garb, and we even get this kind of stereotype of Arabs of all being rich, being Oxford educated, and having so much money that you can bribe your way into any situation. Mm-hmm. So that's the way we're writing Arabs in this episode.
Yes.
And he's got a Scottish sofa, and he wants him to learn English because this guy's...
Scottish sofa?
Is that what I said? A Scottish chauffeur whose Scottish accent is so thick and so broad that the Arab who employs him can't understand him, so wants him to learn English.
Yeah. Cue.
So, Hamish is called, but everybody else refers to him as Jock.
Jock, of course, because he's Scottish.
And this Hamish is obviously hard drinking, got a bottle of whiskey in his thing, and is an intolerant, ignorant brawler.
Yeah, smokes, gets his fags out at one point. It's just...
That's how we're portraying Scottish people in this episode.
Yes, we are. At one point, he calls the Indian character and the Pakistani character, he calls them Charlie Chapati and Takeaway Tommy. Mm-hmm. I mean... That gets a joke. That gets a laugh from the audience.
And there's gags about Roman Catholics.
Yeah, and all the Roman Catholic students then do the sign of the cross.
Yeah, versus Protestants.
Yes.
And obviously this Scottish boozer, who no one can understand, hates
everybody
for whatever reason.
Yeah. Such is the banality of this script, that when the teacher mentions that he's got a dialect, there's a running gag about, oh, we all know what Daleks are. As a Doctor Who mentioned, because dialect sounds a bit like Dalek. I mean, that's the level we're at of the sophistication of this writing of this episode.
Yeah, it's Hamish is portrayed as a hateful character.
Yeah.
And he's portrayed as racist.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But I mean, that's quite rich, really. That's their version of racism.
Yes.
Whereas, can you not see the irony of
in the rich tapestry of this whole thing?
Yeah.
The broader context. It's all a little bit racist, isn't it?
Yeah.
More punching down, more laughing at the funny foreigner.
And then the punchline is that there is an actual payoff, which I thought was actually a little bit amusing.
I've actually forgotten
anything.
it. What was it again?
Well, basically, Jeremy, who's the teacher, just finds that this Hamish guy, the Scottish guy, is just unteachable. He can't teach him. So ends up teaching the Arab Scottish instead of teaching the chauffeur English. Yeah. Which I thought, actually, that's quite an amusing twist. If you, say that, there is actually some sort of script writing process here.
Right.
But that was it.
Yeah.
It was still in itself inherently a racist twist at the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, are we being too hard on Mind Your Language, do you think? Just for people who are out there who are just like, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed Mind Your Language back in the day.
Well, so did I.
Wrong with it.
Well, we really enjoyed it back in the day, but it's just aged like milk. And not just because of the really distasteful racial elements, because the script is terrible.
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
It is the script,
It's just
isn't
rubbish, yeah. I'm sorry, but it's just rubbish. If it was clever, if it was funny, if it was trying to do something, it would be, we'd mention it, but it's just shit, really. And so if anybody did watch it and does watch it and think this is great what they're talking about, well, good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, but honestly, wow.
So I've just got a couple of talking points.
Yeah.
So there's an author called Sarita Malik in representing Black Britain in 2002. She wrote that they wrote that blacks, Asians, or race were usually the butt of the jokes, which tended to hit a racist note, but always in a well-meaning, benevolent tone. She continued that never before had so many diverse races been seen in the same television frame, but they had never clung so tightly to their popular, crude national stereotypes.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, that's an interesting point in that she's made there about that, again, that imperial hangover of the white man, the benevolent white man, which was the narrative which we told ourselves throughout the 19th and early 20th century when Britain's empire was still that we were civilising, we were giving them benefits, so it very much plays into that still.
White saviour
Absolutely.
kind of vibe. Yeah, so actually the guy who commissioned it, Michael Grade, director of programmes at London Weekend Television, he said, as I kind of touched upon before, at the Edinburgh Television Festival in 1985, Grade said it was really irresponsible of us to put it out. Even then, Michael Grade went on to
be the controller of BBC One and does axe Doctor Who in 1985. So what does he know about telly?
Exactly, what does he know?
What's he know?
Mind Your Language and axe Doctor Who.
There you go. There's a blot your copy, but we did bring the Singing Detective and things like that, so we can't really criticise Michael Grade. Actually.
Yeah, we can.
And gave us Neighbours.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Gave us Bouncer's Dream.
He did.
And Mrs. Mangle.
He did.
Yeah. So swings and roundabouts.
He gets a pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to throw.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, can we park this now?
I'm very happy to park this now. Very happy to park it. Leave it in the dustbin of shit telly out the back by the skips. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I just want to throw a few other examples of race used in TV shows that were controversial around about the time, and some more modern ones as well, just to kind of get your take.
Let's have a look.
So there was Love Thy Neighbour, wasn't there, from 1972 to 1976. The premise was a white working class couple living next door to a black couple. The white character, Eddie, uses racial slurs and mocks his black neighbours. And while intended to expose racism, it often reinforced negative stereotypes instead.
Yes.
Later condemned for normalising racism under the guise of comedy.
Yes, absolutely all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, despite the fact that in each episode the black characters will get the better of Eddie, despite the fact that Eddie's wife clearly just can't stand his racist views, it normalises racist language and racist behaviour. So, absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. At a time when racial tensions are really on the increase in the UK, the rise of the National Front is happening concurrently with Mind Your Language, so it's kind of unforgivable.
Okay, another one from the BBC this time, from 1974 to 1981, It Ain't Half Hot Mum. Okay, so this was the premises set in British India during World War II, focusing on a military concert party unit. So stereotypes included brown face, white actors like Michael Bates playing Indian characters with heavy accents and makeup. And Indian characters were portrayed as servile, simple-minded or overly deferential, seen today as deeply problematic for its colonial attitudes and racial caricatures.
Absolutely. You know, and isn't it funny that we have the very overt colonialism of It Ain't Half Hot Mum on TV at the same time as a kind of subtle colonialism of Mind Your Language. Yeah. So, but again, the Indian characters in that do the funny head-shaking thing, you know, which becomes a stereotype. Dreadful.
But again, loved
hilarious,
it as a kid.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But that speaks of the normalisation of those tropes and and also the exoticization and the othering of other races, you know, which was the want of white people at the time. So,
well, I mean, the stars of that were huge. I remember Windsor Davies and Don Estelle released a song together, and they did a signing in Woolworths in Scarborough. My grandma took me down there. They were absolutely mobbed.
I'm sure they were. Yeah. I remember being on holiday in Peebles in Scotland, and I was having my first ever pizza. So I must have been about 10. And we were in some pub, and in walked Windsor Davies and Melvin Hayes. Just walked in, took a look around, and just walked back out. And we were like, what's that Windsor Davies and Melvin Hayes? It was so weird. But yeah, huge. Loved It Ain't Half Hot Mum. Thought it was fantastic. Gloria. I mean, God, Gloria was an icon.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay, here's one that, I would challenge you to find any snippets of this on the internet. It's been more or less erased from the BBC archives and history.
Is this a Spike Milligan one?
No, this is the Black and White Minstrel Show.
Oh, gosh.
So the premise was it's a musical variety show with white performers in blackface makeup singing songs associated with minstrel shows. Despite protests from the late 60s onwards, it remained popular until it was finally axed in 1978. It's a direct example of institutionalised racism in mainstream British entertainment.
Absolutely. Yeah, huge. My gran had all the albums.
Yeah.
And they were the biggest selling albums for years in this country, you know. And just Saturday night telly.
Yeah.
So white men doing blackface and perpetuating slave tropes, making fun of slavery, doing all this kind of stuff, and just... you can't get your head around it now.
Well, you can't get your head around it now, but that was normal.
Yeah. It wasn't totally normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, there's a few American ones here, which was Amos and Andy.
Don't know it.
Yeah, it's featured heavily stereotyped portrayals of African Americans, lazy, dim-witted, and criminal. The civil rights groups had lobbied against the show for years, and it was eventually pulled from syndication in the late 70s. And there's a film from 1986, so we're moving kind of, you know, closer to now. Short Circuit. Do you remember Short Circuit? Johnny Five Alive and all that.
I didn't see it, so I don't.
Well, it's worth noting that white actor Fisher Stevens portrayed an Indian character using brown face and a fake accent, reflecting the trend that began in the early 70s. So that was in the mid-80s. This was kind of still going on.
Trading Places, wasn't that? Didn't you say that was a racist?
Trading Places were for different reasons.
Right.
Yeah, different. I mean, I think we should definitely put Trading Places on the list.
Right.
But then there's some film examples, some more recent examples. Sorry, so there's in Britain there's Little Britain.
Yes. Gosh,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
which even the Matt Lucas and David Williams have apologised for.
And that's only less than 20 years ago, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But even still, they were still going strong in 2010 on the BBC with "Come Fly with Me," which
Yeah.
was the kind of the sequel to Little Britain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it still used blackface and brownface to portray ethnic characters. There's a Middle Eastern airline owner, a Caribbean, a South Asian check-in desk worker, and a black woman working in a coffee shop.
Wow.
You know, so there's that. And then, I know I'm going on a little bit, we can always cut a bit of this out. And then there's modern US examples like The Simpsons. You know, Apu.
Yes.
You know, he was voiced by white actor Hank Azaria until 2020, and Apu is a South Asian convenience store owner with an exaggerated Indian accent and stereotypical job and catchphrases such as "Thank you, come again." So yeah, it was criticised for years, and then Hank Azaria, who voiced him, eventually stepped down and publicly acknowledged the role's harm.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of still goes on, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But I think you have to be careful sometimes that you're not accused of wokery if you're against these things, because I mean there is just such like a massive kind of culture clash, which I think is where we are at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
but,
with this
I mean, it's still-
weaponisation of the use of the word woke.
Yeah, but that's bollocks. We know that's bollocks. You know,
Yeah.
ask anybody what woke means, and if anybody uses the word woke, that's too woke. Ask
Yeah.
them what it means, and they
Yeah.
just fucking fall apart under any
Yeah.
kind of scrutiny.
Yeah.
If people of a different colour are taking the roles of people of a different colour and depriving them of work, then surely that's a bad thing, at the very least.
Yeah.
You know, or if people are using a different colour to poke the fun at that particular race, then that's a bad thing, surely. So, and it doesn't go the other way, because white people have always had more power. So a person of colour pretending to be a white person doesn't have the same power at all, because they've always been subservient or subjugated. So,
But look
come
at
on.
the clutching of pearls when something like Bridgerton comes on and people say, well, you wouldn't have black people in the aristocracy
Yes.
back in
Yeah.
those days and stuff. And
Wrong.
It's
Wrong. Fuck off. Do some fucking proper
do you know what I mean?
research
But I
and
mean,
fuck
there's
off.
this counter argument against shows like Mind Your Language and Bridgerton and all that kind of thing. But,
Listen,
I mean, it's a really
they're in a
interesting.
nutshell of their time, Mind Your Language. 1979. It's just dull. It's rubbish dull. If you want to defend Mind Your Language, please tell me what you're defending it. Is it the sophistry of the script? Is it the witticisms laid on? Or is it the fact you just like to be racist and take the piss out of other people of different colours? Then let me know.
You're not talking to me there.
No,
are
I
you?
am. Anyway, can we just park it before I get a really horrible, biley taste out of my mouth? Well, that was Mind Your Language. So, all that being said,
Yes.
what would you give it out of 10?
I would give Mind Your Language. I don't know if I can score it because I thought it was just shit.
I'm not scoring it. I'm going to
Let's
give it
just
absolutely
not.
nothing.
Let's just give it one.
I'm not giving nothing.
I mean, I don't even want to use a
I don't-
reference from
what
the
do you
show.
use? One parrot.
One parrot.
Yeah.
Out,
One
of
parrot
10,
out of 10.
just because
Yeah.
it was because we have to.
I'm going to give it no blackboard rubbers out of 10 at all, because I thought it was a pile of shite. I think it's easily one of the worst things we've ever watched. And we watched it a year and a half too.
Yeah.
I loved it back in the
Yes.
day. But oh my God, just a steaming piece of turd. So let's crash on.
Let's crash on.
So where are we going next week, and when are we going to, Dave?
Okay, so I don't really know how to describe this or intro it, so I'm just going to say it.
Yes.
We're going to watch Benefit Street from
2014.
So we're going to watch Benefit Street, which was a UK documentary TV show from 2014. So not that long ago, only 11 years ago.
Yeah, not long ago. And we've never been to 2014, so I'm
haven't
quite
we?
excited. No,
Right.
no, yeah.
So controversial at the time. There was a phrase bandied around at the time, poverty porn.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what our attitudes are towards this now, only
Yes.
11 years later.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we look forward to that.
Yes.
In the meantime, do like and subscribe. Follow us on our socials at Podcast Gaze on Instagram and TikTok. Send us an email to theproblematicgaze@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. As long as you're not commenting on our socials saying, well, you couldn't get away with it today, could you? No, you couldn't. For good reason. Back in your box.
On that note, please do give us a...
So angry about my language.
Okay, I think I might have to go and give Dr. Lee a sedative, mild sedative, or at least a glass of wine. Mind you, he is prone to getting violent. So please do give us a follow wherever you get your podcast from. Following us really does help spread the word of The Problematic Gaze. And if you want to send us an email, you can do theproblematicgaze@gmail.com. And then we're off for a little meeting, aren't we? To see if we can get our little website up and running.
Yes, more
So
news on that to follow.
watch this space.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm off to debate Chairman Mao and Good Rules of Communism with one of my students. What are you doing?
I'm aware that I might say something inadvertently racist here, so I might just say I'm off to
Drink some whiskey.
drink some whiskey, have a fag, and feed the parrot.
On that bombshell, a reservoir.
Au reservoir.